Tourists come to Dubai expecting to be treated like VIPs. But when flights suddenly disappear from the electronic dashboard, they are left as anonymous individuals, stranded with their suitcases. A high-class destination isn't defined solely by how customers spend money in luxury hotels, but by how they are treated when they are tired, disoriented, and in need of a protective system. In a short period, according to WAM News Agency, the UAE's Identification and Citizenship Agency processed visas and temporary entry permits for over 30,913 passengers at airports amidst widespread flight cancellations. Successfully handling this massive workload demonstrates the responsiveness of a professional system. But behind this record number lies a harsh reality about the vulnerability of the modern tourism era. And as always, please note that all content in this video has been researched and compiled by our team from various sources. Therefore, if there are any errors or points that need correction, please feel free to comment below so that we can update and correct them promptly. But to understand why the chaotic scenes beneath the electronic display boards pose a direct threat to the image of tourism, we must first look at the promise that Dubai and the UAE have sold to the world. For tens of millions of people, it's not simply a luxurious resort destination, it's a massive global transit hub. Upon entering this ecosystem, travelers place their trust in a smoothly operating, almost invisible system. Fast, clean, safe, and always staffed. Iconic architecture and expensive services are merely the surface. The core of this model is the feeling that everything is under absolute control. Customers believe that their connecting flight will be on time, their luggage will be automatically transferred, information desks will always have answers, and if any incident occurs, a multi-billion-dollar system will know exactly what to do to protect them. However, empires built on perfection also carry a hidden crack. The more absolute the promise, the deeper the disappointment when the system breaks down. But that promise of absolute control was only truly tested when the first thing to disappear turned out to be the most important thing in the entire tourism industry: flights. We're not delving into the political aspects. The core issue is the impact of airspace restrictions on the tourism industry. Modern tourism needs more than just beautiful destinations. It needs open skies and stable flight schedules. When air travel stops, tourism is paralyzed. According to AP, this disruption resulted in the cancellation of over 19,000 out of approximately 51,600 flights to and from the Middle East. According to data from Cirium, each canceled flight leads to lost hotel bookings, missed tours, and leaves travelers in a state of complete uncertainty. And when the flow of people is halted, the scale of the crisis isn't about the number of arrivals, but about the number of people who need assistance to legally remain stranded. The truth is that not all 30,913 tourists were stranded in Dubai. According to WAM, the ICP agency processed applications at multiple airports such as Zayed, Sharjah, and Dubai. Arabian Business noted that 15,327 entry visas were issued during the flight suspension. The figure of 30,913 reveals a paradox. The UAE's safe handling of tens of thousands of people reflects impressive response capabilities. But this enormous demand also demonstrates the immense strain on the system, far exceeding that of a typical flight delay. The crisis strained the network's capacity, and where we see this pressure most clearly is not in the reports, but right inside the terminals struggling with overcrowding. Airports are supposed to be places of travel, but in a crisis, they become places where everyone stands still, waiting for responsibility to be assigned. At the crowded support counters, passengers ask the same question: who changes tickets? Who arranges hotels? Who pays for bookings? When things run smoothly, many parties benefit. Airlines sell tickets, airports collect fees. But when stranded, responsibility is immediately fragmented between airlines, insurance companies, and authorities. Gulf News notes that the UAE has activated an emergency response framework to ensure visas and services for passengers. However, passengers don't care about the explanation scheme. They just need answers. But among that group, there's one that's most vulnerable. Those who had no intention of staying where they were stranded. Imagine you're only transiting for a few hours. You haven't booked a hotel in Dubai. You're unfamiliar with immigration laws. You're just waiting for your next flight. But then the flight is canceled. Your luggage is lost. Your phone dies. The terrifying thing about stranded transit passengers is that they don't belong where they're being held. They've left their starting point, haven't reached their destination, and suddenly find themselves dependent on a system they're completely unprepared for. The delay itself is frustrating, but it's the uncertainty that creates the ultimate panic. The feeling of being left behind is more persistent than the delay itself. And each stranded individual is not just an emotional story. They represent a huge cost to the entire tourism ecosystem. A stranded tourist doesn't just occupy a waiting room. They trigger a chain of enormous costs. A tourism crisis isn't just about the arrival of tourists. It erodes resources when they can't leave. Individually, they lose money on tours, hotel rooms, missed appointments, and have to buy new, expensive tickets. Systemically, AP reports that over 19,000 flights have been canceled. The disruption forced the UAE to process applications for 30,913 people and issue 15,327 emergency visas. Each application entails countless costs: meals, transportation, overtime staff, and support hotlines. The more stranded tourists there are, the harder the system has to work to avoid collapse. Money can be accounted for, but what's harder to measure is the memories tourists take home. Every destination carries risks. The issue isn't about the incident itself, but about whether travelers are protected. The image crisis doesn't stem from a canceled flight. It comes from the moment people feel abandoned in an unfamiliar place. Dubai may still boast its skyscrapers, but for those stranded, the memory isn't the Burj Khalifa. It's the cold waiting area, the overcrowded support desks, and the helplessness. In the digital age, the panic doesn't stay confined to the terminal. A video of someone stranded next to their suitcase spreads faster than any promotional campaign. When that image goes viral, the question isn't just about one destination, but about the entire Gulf superhub model. The strategic location of Asia, Europe, and Africa is a major advantage, but it also poses risks when airspace is unstable. According to FlightRadar24, approximately 21,300 flights were canceled at 7 major airports in the region. This poses a challenge for the future of Gulf superhubs. If a crisis repeats itself with unclear support information, travelers will become more cautious, choose alternative routes, or increase insurance costs. Conversely, if the UAE leverages this incident to upgrade its emergency visa mechanism, shelter system, and passenger information process, it will demonstrate that excellence isn't only demonstrated when things are calm. A truly global destination must be one where disruptions are anticipated and addressed through humane coordination rather than relying solely on flashy physical infrastructure. The story ultimately revolves around the person pulling their suitcase under the electronic display at the beginning of the video. Now we understand that this isn't just a missed flight, but a symbol of the big question facing modern travel. When the system stops, who is responsible for the people inside it? The UAE's handling of tens of thousands of people, And the issuance of over 15,000 emergency visas is proof that a response mechanism exists. But that very scale also reminds us that luxury isn't the ultimate promise. True class is tested at the moment of crisis. Will travelers be left alone? If a paradise is beautiful only when things are going well, but leaves visitors bewildered when storms strike, has it truly matured? If you also want to see the other side of world-famous destinations, leave your thoughts below. And if you want to continue following these investigative journeys, subscribe to the channel.